There's a paradox at the heart of evolution, a paradox that casts doubt on the power of the theory to explain the origin of diversity in life. I've created a computer model which, similar to DNA, uses 4 alphabetical letters in sequence to simulate a gene pool of one protein. Every generation, one of the sentences will produce 6 offspring, each with 1 letter randomly mutated, and then selection will pick the one of those 6, which is most fit, to replace the original string of letters. At first, when simulating natural selection, the protein is highly conserved, represented by the full sequence of letters refusing to stray very far from the original sequence. Evolution by random mutation and natural selection will tend not to allow things like proteins to change, because protein folds can be fragile, so any change will represent a loss of fitness and will be filtered from the gene pool. Now, watch what happens when I turn off natural selection. Without the filtering mechanism, the entire gene pool becomes a completely incoherent mess, almost entirely different than the starting sequence. But why? Put simply, it's because of entropy. There are 4 to the 36 possible combinations of letters, which is an unimaginably large number. Out of all of these possibilities, there are relatively very few which would be considered fit and functional. So, if you make random changes in a system like this, you will inevitably get random and incoherent results. However, we know that proteins are far more rare than 1 in 4 to the 36. The actual number is more like 1 in 10 to the 77. But evolving new proteins by random search like this is probably one of the easier tasks that evolution needs to accomplish. And yet, this simulation shows that evolving new proteins by random search isn't possible even in principle. So the paradox evolution faces is that proteins won't want to evolve when they're under selection pressure, and without selection pressure, they will become completely random and, in a word, destroyed. So we should be skeptical of the theory of evolution because